We always said that we were going to look at all the statistics to make an informed decision, and we set ourselves that May 28th because we knew that the infection rate was dramatically reducing. And for the last 31 days in New South Wales, the infection rate has been less than 1%. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to see the facts, see the figures, and we were confident that the governments were doing a great job and they were going to get the infection rate down. So 28th of May, there's a possibility that there may be no person infected in New South Wales. And for every 300 people that are being tested at the moment, only one is positive. So the governments have done a great job, and we believe now that we can commence our competition, and the 28th of May was a good decision at the time.
Yeah, this no jab, no play situation, look, I get it. We're talking about a handful. It's the extreme minority, but there seems to be a little bump here. Queensland says no jab, no play for you to be able to have games there. New South Wales says follow the advice, but they're not being absolute about it. What's your position about a player that doesn't want to have a flu jab?
Look, at the moment, I think I've got to look at the positive. 97% of our players got the flu shot immediately. They called to arms, they did it. They were conscientious to the game. In the general community, you might have 3 or 4% or 5% that will never vaccinate. In our 97% of players that vaccinated, there's a lot of players there that have never vaccinated in their lives, but they did it for the benefit of the game. So I'm looking at the positive. In New South Wales, the New South Wales government has allowed us for those players that don't want to be vaccinated to sign a waiver. I believe the Queensland government will do the same thing. You've got to remember that the only people that are affected by the vaccination are the players themselves, their health. There's no risk to the community. It's just that if they show a symptom, at least you discount the fact that it's not the flu and you go and get tested. So these people, the players that don't vaccinate, will be tested many, many times if they continue to show symptoms. So it's to their inconvenience. There's no risk to the fellow players in relation to the flu. It's only in relation to themselves. So it's their decision at the end of the day if they don't want to have the flu shot to protect themselves.
Some more good news for the Code today is that with Melbourne starting to open up, the Storm can get out of Albury, which will make those lefty councillors happy. Are you pleased that you're making big inroads into Melbourne being able to stay in Melbourne?
Yes, look, we always expected that these things were going to happen. When we set ourselves the 28th of May, we were hoping that these restrictions would be removed. And because the infection rate was so low, the next big one, in my view, will be New Zealand. I think that due to the low infection rate in New Zealand and the low infection rate in Australia, those two international borders may be opened up so the Warriors may be able to travel to and from Australia again, and the Australian teams can go to New Zealand. That's the next big one for us because the Auckland Warriors have made the ultimate sacrifice to house themselves in Australia for a period of time. I'm just hoping that those borders are also relaxed and, the competition can be as normal as it could be.
So for us footy fans, when do we actually get to know when our teams are playing, where they'll be playing? Sure, we'll all be sitting back watching it, hopefully on Foxtel in our case here, or obviously over on 9. When do I know who the Tigers are playing in round 1?
Look, it'll be this week. We have contractual obligations to both broadcasters that they have to select the games they want to telecast first and foremost. It's a pretty complex algorithm that's used. So, hopefully by Wednesday or even Thursday, the full draw will be out. So the fans and the players and the coaches all know what to look forward to.
Now, I noticed that I think it's Roy Masters, former coach, respected journalist. He wrote an interesting piece over the weekend, sort of speculating that you're coming to the end of your rugby league tenure. Please say this isn't the case, because the leadership you've shown has brought the sport back. Are you at all eyeing the way out?
No, not at all. Now, what I said to Roy was that I'm not interested in being the CEO or the executive chairman. I'm not interested in either of those. I'm interested in just being a chairman, and I'll continue to be chairman as long as my board continue to want me to be chairman. And there's no reason why I shouldn't be. So, no, I think that's probably been taken out of context. I think what Roy meant to say was that I'm not interested in executive chairman because I believe management and the board should be separated. They should have different functions. And I'm not interested in the CEO role in my stage of my life. So, but I'll continue on as the chairman as long as the board and all the participant groups and the clubs require me to do so.